Hi guys, Happy New Year! Welcome back to Clumsy Cakes. So today we're going to be making some 100-hour brownies. I saw this recipe back in December, but with all of the holiday recipes that I had planned, I really didn't have any time for it, so I am doing it now. So first we're going to start by making the brown butter for the recipe. You're just going to cut out 2 sticks of unsalted butter and put that into a skillet over a medium-low heat and gently melt this, bring it to a gentle boil and just watch it. And brown butter is kind of like an avocado where it's not ready, it's not ready, it's not ready, and then all of a sudden it's ready, and in the blink of an eye it is junk. So really just keep your eye on that, and once it comes to a brown color and starts to smell a little bit toasty and nutty, then it is ready. Just shut it off and you can put your skillet onto a towel like I have, and then add in your instant espresso powder and your coffee ice cube. And when you put that in, it's gonna bubble a little bit, but just stir it and it will melt in there. And this component is done and can be set aside. Now let's talk chocolate. The original recipe says to use 75% cocoa chocolate, but I couldn't find any, so I mixed some 100% and some 65% cocoa chocolate and just melted that in the microwave for about 30-second intervals and stirring in between. And that concludes part 2 of this recipe, and you can set that aside. Now on to part 3. So now you just want to crack your eggs into your bowl. Whoops. Let's get that out of there. And just give those just a preliminary mix. And then we're going to add our sugar and cream that together until light and fluffy. So guys, rest assured that I did take being a train wreck over with me to 2021. So there's that. So you're just going to sift in your cocoa powder, and we're just going to incorporate that, being sure to not overmix. And then we're going to add our flour the same way that we added our cocoa powder. Again, just stir and try not to overmix. As soon as that's incorporated, stop mixing. And now we marry all of our steps together. The melted chocolate, and then we're just going to stir that in. And then we're going to add more semi-sweet and milk chocolate. And also, one thing that should have been in that base is 1 more tablespoon of instant espresso powder. And finally, just chop up 1 more bar of 75% cacao chocolate. Go over the top. We're just going to cut this up into small irregular pieces. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. And I don't know why this didn't make it on camera, but I did put my batter into a prepared 9 by 13-inch baking pan. I just prepared that by lining it with some parchment paper with some flaps on the side so that I could lift the brownies out once they're baked. And as you can see, I'm just going to top the brownies with that chocolate. And I'm just going to cover this and put it into the fridge for 3 days. This is where the 100 hours aspect of this comes in. We're going to let this sit in the fridge for 3 days, and then we're going to bake it, and then we're going to let it sit in the fridge for another 24 hours. Hence the 100 hours. I know this recipe sounds absolutely crazy. Trust me, this is why I wanted to try it, to tell you guys whether it's worth it or not. This may be a recipe that I absolutely love and I make just for special occasions because it is so crazy labor intensive, but I don't know, let's see. So this is what these brownies look like after 72 hours in the fridge. Not too different aesthetically, but I'm just wondering what this did to the taste. But now I'm going to leave this out at room temperature just to get the chill off. They don't have to come to room temperature. I just don't want them to be super cold when they go in the oven. So I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees, and then I'm going to put this in for 30 minutes. Once you can stick a toothpick in the center of these, and the toothpick comes out with just some moist crumbs on it. Not wet batter, just some moist crumbs, then it's ready. And then once those are ready, I'm going to come back and show you what we're going to do next with these. So these are the brownies after they came out of the oven. The original recipe said 30 minutes, but mine were in for about 45 minutes. They just didn't look done at the 30-minute mark, so I put them in for a little bit longer. So what we're gonna do is cover these in tin foil, and once they're cool enough to handle, we're going to stick them into the freezer for 30 minutes. And then after that, we're going to stick them into the fridge until tomorrow. That's an additional 24 hours. And then we can finally eat them. I'm excited. All right, at long last, let's try this brownie. Can you guys see that? Oh my God. If you like cakey brownies, you won't be a fan of this, but if you like really dense, fudgy brownies, oh my goodness. And really, for how much coffee we put in there, it really don't taste much at all. When I normally make brownies, I usually put about a teaspoon of instant espresso powder in there anyway to almost wake up the flavor of the chocolate and intensify the flavor of the chocolate. And I think that's what this did. It just made it I can't talk. Oh my God, so good. I came into this recipe thinking that this Alvin Zoo guy that this recipe came from might have been a little wacky, but oh my goodness, this was so well worth the wait. So that is it. If you guys have any more suggestions for any recipes that you would like me to try, leave those down in the comments. If you would like to try an easier brownie recipe that takes less time and a lot less steps, you can find that recipe up in the cards right now. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel to make more delicious messes just like this one. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!